Hey everyone, Tsetzuko here. I'm joined by a friend of mine.
Howdy, I'm Drizzt.
He's a friend. He comes over and we usually play a lot of Magic the Gathering. Mostly Arena, sometimes some of the paper stuff. And I'm going to be featuring him in a lot of the MTG Arena content, hopefully, as a second voice to give opinions for cards and all that kind of good stuff. In this video, we're going to be doing a draft for the core set 2020. It's the most recent set as of the making of this video. If you're not familiar with Magic the Gathering or Arena, you can download the game for free and go through the tutorial, and that's going to give you a basic understanding of the game. I'm also going to have some videos coming out that are going to cover sort of beginner topics that aren't covered in the tutorial, like formats and that kind of stuff. But for now, we just want to jump in and kind of start getting the hang of what we're doing here. So we're going to hop into Core Set 2020 and do a draft.
Sounds like fun.
All right. And take a look at Pack 1, Pick 1. So this is an insane pack. We've got a lot of really good cards here. I'm just going to list off the ones that would be in for consideration. We're not going to talk about them here. We'll end up talking about them later in the draft, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
But Chandra Spitfire, super awesome card. Cloud Conceer is pretty amazing. Silverback Shaman is also really good. Those are kind of three really big picks here, but we have a straight up bomb in this pack with Gargos, the Vicious Watcher. He is 3 green for a legendary creature Hydra. He's an 8/7 with Vigilance. Hydra spells you cast cost 4 less to cast. That's not super relevant. There's one other Hydra in this set.
Yeah.
But whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, Gargos, Vicious Watcher, fights up to one target creature you don't control. So, one, this is a straight up bomb, but a consideration here is this is green. Right?
We would be committing pretty heavily to green, but at the same time, I feel like it's worth
Gargos.
it.
Yeah.
Green is a strong color in this set,
Yep.
and it's Gargos. I mean, it's a straight bomb.
So we're just going with Gargos. All right, it might not be the absolute best, like pro tour pick here, but we want it, so we're taking it. All right, getting into pack 2. Looks like we don't have a lot of green options here, which is not good.
No.
We've got Overgrowth Elemental, which is 2 and a green for a Elemental, 3/2. When Overgrowth Elemental enters the battlefield, you put a +1/+1 counter on another target elemental you control. Whenever another creature you control dies, you gain 1 life. If that creature was an elemental, put a +1/+1 counter on Overgrowth Elemental. So, elemental synergies for sure.
Sounds great for an elemental deck. I think it might still be worth grabbing, just because elementals do drop fairly often, and it's still fitting in our green color scheme.
Yeah, we do have a dual land here with the green-white, but white is one of the weakest colors. It's like pretty much the weakest color in this set for limited. And so I'm not super pumped about picking up a green-white. I think we'll just go Overgrowth Elemental.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Alright, next pack. Once again, we've got not a whole lot going on in green. We've got some other considerations here. If we wanted to splash into black or red.
Black or red is probably a route. I think Scampering Scorcher, simply because we create a bunch of little red elementals that would feed well into the Overgrowth Elemental. Gift of Paradise could also potentially be an option here if we want to branch out in colors. It's not only...
I think if we're going to go heavy green, like maybe just snagging the Gift of Paradise right now is fine.
Yeah.
It'll make things splashable. It'll also ramp us into Gargos.
Oh, for sure.
There's some good cards in this pack with the Scorcher and the Brawler and even Vampire of the Dire Moon. But I think if we're kind of leaning into this, I think Gift of Paradise is...
Yeah, I think
solid.
That's a good pick. Yeah.
And even if we don't main green, it's still just a good card to have. So let's snatch that up. We got another Gift of Paradise.
Kind of wishing we'd picked up the Scorcher now.
Yeah, this is a less appealing pack. There's a Scuttlemutt, though.
Scuttlemutt. There's also the Scorch Spitter, and then the Unchained Berserker if we're feeling really good about going against white.
I'm thinking the pick is Scuttlemutt here, just because it'll go into any deck and it's mana fixing. And nothing in this pack is like overwhelmingly awesome.
It would probably be the Scuttlemutt or the Scorch Spitter here.
Yeah, let's grab the Scuttlemutt. Alright, we do have a green pick here, Healer of the Glade. It's in green, will gain 3 life, and it's an elemental. That's a solid pick.
I think it's also our best pick here out of our options. Well, Lavakin is a good one, but I think we're sticking with green for now.
Yeah, I think Lavakin's a good card, but it's not good enough for me to want to dip into red right this second.
Right this second,
right?
yeah.
Maybe pack 2, we'll figure it out. But let's grab a healer. Alright, here we go. We got a Pattern Matcher as a potential card here. If we can get some duplicate cards. That's probably
yeah.
it.
Pattern Matcher, maybe the Fairykin or the Fairy Miscreant if we're feeling like we're gonna get more of those. But you'd probably want that along with the Pattern Matcher.
Yeah, I think we grab Pattern Matcher.
Yeah.
And we got another Pattern Matcher.
Well, we can use the Pattern Matcher to get the Pattern Matcher out.
It doesn't. We would need 3 of them. Man, this is one of those picks where nothing really looks awesome. We do have a Goblin Smuggler though. That's a really solid card.
It is a solid card. I think it's worth picking up just in case we do go into red.
Yeah, this will make. There's a lot of good combinations with Goblin Smuggler. All right, so let's grab Goblin Smuggler. Mammoth Spider, pretty solid pick here.
Yeah. Scorch Spitter as well.
Yeah, I think, being able to block the flyers, sticking in green. Scorch Spitter is good if we can pick up like a Chandra's Spitfire, or if we know for sure we're going heavy elementals, which I think based on what we have, which is a Healer of the Glade and an Overgrowth elemental, we can't reliably say that's what we're doing.
Not yet, but we are leaning in that direction. The Mammoth Spider could be useful for late game. Just having it as a nice flying blocker.
Flyers.
Yeah.
I think
might as well pick it up now, yeah.
Alright, and then we could pick up a Scorch Spitter here.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's fine. We got another Goblin Smuggler. We also have Blood Burglar as a consideration for black, but I'd rather not splash into black until we have a really, really good reason. So I think another Goblin Smuggler.
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
And here we could pick up the Lavakin Brawler.
Yeah, that looks like the best pick in this particular set. Another Scorch Spitter.
Alright, here the pick doesn't really matter. Thought Distortion is awful, so I figure we at least get Duress. We'll put it on the sideboard. Probably won't use it, but... Sanitarium Skeleton actually has some combos with black in this because you can kill it off and then pay to get it back. Probably not going to play it, but we'll check it over here in the sideboard as well. And then this Random Mountain.
My favorite.
Alright, we're into pack 2, pick 1. And we have some interesting choices. So we're already pretty heavy in red and green. We do potentially have a lean towards elementals. We've got some dang good cards in here.
The two that are standing out to me at the moment are the Chandra's Embercat and the Leafkin Druid. Both of those are mana fixing and helpful. Both of them are elementals.
I would say you can't pass on the Howling Giant. Like, the Howling Giant is huge.
That's true.
And the Howling Giant is an uncommon, so the potential for us to get it again is a little bit lower. Whereas I'm with you on the Leafkin Druid and the Embercat, especially if we're going to be trying to ramp into Gargos or ramp into Howling Giant. But I think Howling Giant is a solid pick here.
Yeah, I think that's the good pick for the beginning, but we are definitely going to want to look for those in the later for wheeling back around.
Yeah, I think at this point with like a Gargos and a Howling Giant, we're like, okay, we got some good late game. Right?
Yeah, so, and then I completely missed the Thicket Crasher at the end there. Mm-hmm. That could also be useful for later on.
Yeah, so we'll snag the Howling Giant. Okay, we've got a couple. Wow, this is not a bad pack. So we have the Gift of Paradise. I think we're fine passing on that. We've got Lavakin Brawler, we've got Shock, we've got a Rugged Highlands, and we have a Thrashing Brontodon. So,
Thrashing Brontodon, it costs 1 mana plus 2 green. It's a 3/4 dinosaur that says pay 1, sacrifice Thrashing Brontodon, destroy target artifact or enchantment.
Yeah, so this is, first off, it's 3 mana 3/4.
Yeah, that's
right.
Nice.
And then you can pay 1 to sack it, and there are some legit enchantments you're going to want to kill.
Removing a Pacify would feel pretty good.
So,
or sleep paralysis. But I feel like we have better choices here between the Gifted Paradise, the Shock, or the Lavakin Brawler.
I'm like almost with you on that, except Thrashing Brontodon is such a good card. Like, even like we're looking at a little bit of an elemental lean here, maybe, but we don't have a big payoff for the elemental lean.
Other than the Overgrowth Elemental, that's the only payoff we really have there.
So I'm looking at, like, at this point, if I'm looking at Thrashing Brontodon and Brawler, I'm kind of like, I want to take the Brontodon.
Fair enough.
But there is also Shock to consider. And Shock is just really solid.
Nice, cheap removal, especially it's already in our colors.
But once again, we also do come down to the common versus uncommon argument.
Yeah, I mean, we can pick a 1-up for the Brontodon. Worst case, we just don't run them.
Alright, let's grab it. And we got a Spitfire. I'm pretty sure that's the pick. We got another Howling Giant, but we
don't really need to.
So now Chandra's Spitfire. This isn't necessarily an elemental payoff, but this can pull us in some directions with red.
Oh, absolutely. And it's finally a payoff for the Scorch Spitters, if nothing else.
Yep. So, looking like not a whole lot going on for this pack.
Maybe we grab that Gift of Paradise this time around.
We could. I think I might just do a Blight Beetle for my collection here, because I don't know that we'd run more than 1 Gift of Paradise.
Yeah, I mean, having 2 would be convenient for ramping into Gargos or the Howling Giant, and then the life gain, but I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the Blight Beetle, so we'll grab the Gift of Paradise here. And now that we have 2, we can just kind of pass over it. Oh, man. Tone Down Lich. This is such a good card. Not for our colors. I think the pick here is going to be Scorch Spitter.
Yeah.
It's going to enable the Chandra Spitfire. It's an elemental for any payoffs we can get.
Yeah, I think that's definitely our choice here. Though, if we were in blue-black, that Tone-Bound Lich would be really nice.
Yeah, it would be great. So, Scorch Spitter it is. Moving along, we got another Goblin Smuggler here.
We've got 2. I mean, this is a weak pack, so maybe we pick that, but
I think this is just a collection pick. I don't think we're going to... Well, if we were mono red, I would say grab the Goblin Smuggler, but we're not.
Yeah.
We're leaning towards green, splashing red, so I don't want to take too much here. So I think I'm just going to do a collection pick and grab the Drake.
Yeah, that seems fair.
We got a Dragon Mage. We don't want to go double red, though. We have Evolving Wilds. I think that's a solid pick here, actually.
Yeah, I think for continued mana fixing, that is fine.
Grab an Evolving Wilds. Not a whole lot going on here either. I think this is probably a collection pick.
Yeah.
Grab this awful Tectonic Rift. And just sideboard that. We're not playing that. Another Goblin Smuggler. This is the Goblin Smuggler set. I don't think we're going to play any of the cards here, so...
No.
I'll just grab an Inspiring Captain for my collection. Actually, I'm going to grab the Cove. We got a Bird Grabber.
I guess out of everything else, that's the one we pick.
Yeah, I need one for my collection anyway, so that's pretty solid. We're probably not going to go into any of these.
And there's no collections here.
So maybe we just grab the Heart Piercer bow, because we could potentially play it.
It's the only one, yeah, that has any chance of being played.
Okay, now I can get my beetle. And here...
Island. Pick the
We're
island.
not picking the island. Let's go with Blade Brand. We got a little bit of black. I don't think we're going to end up splashing black, but if we got to pick cards willy-nilly, we might as well get the black ones. And there's my fourth Tectonic Rift.
Maybe we never see you again.
Wow.
Ooh, okay. All right.
So the pick here is Yarok the Desecrated, because I need it for my collection.
Almost completely useless for us. But
yeah. It's probably...
Well, we do have the 2 Gifts of Paradise and the Evolving Wilds. We're grabbing it regardless, but...
So let's just grab it and move on. If it wasn't here, what would the pick be? Healer of the Glade, probably?
Yeah, that'd probably be it.
That's
the only thing here. Yep.
The Eagle's really good for blue-white flyers, but that's not what we're playing. Alright, we'll grab Yarok. We'll throw him down here. Maybe we will have a reason to go into black, such as, Murder popping up. Murder is double black, though, and I feel like we're too committed to green.
Yeah, if we want to grab removal, maybe a Shock here or another Scorch Spitter just to get the 4 drops for that.
I think Shock. Shock is the pick here. Like, let's get some removal going. We do have a little bit of blue splash. That's one color we need for Yarok. That's one of the problems you can run into here. But look, we have the choice is Pack Mastiff. I mean, at this point, I'd rather just pick something for my collection.
Yeah, and
did we just grab the land?
I think we just grab the land.
Right, we'll just grab the land. All right, we got a Lavakin Brawler here, and that looks like the pick to me.
Yeah, Lavakin, or if we're really feeling like it, the 3rd Gift of Paradise, because then we can ensure that we have all we need for Yarok.
No, I'm okay. So here it's between another Lavakin Brawler and a Shock. Let's see how we're looking in the Lavakin Brawler slot.
We've got 2. I think the Shock is the pick.
Yeah, we're going to keep going with some removal. The only real green removal is,
Rabid Bite?
Rabid Bite, that's right. I think we're going for a Scorch Spitter here.
Yeah, I'd rather have that than another Smuggler.
Well, we have 3 Scorch Spitters.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
we only have 1 Chandra Spitfire though. We want all 3 to be there, maybe even 4 to be there to really pump her up and to pump up the Brawler.
That's true. Okay, alright. Thinking Ferocious Pup or maybe Growth Cycle. Ferocious Pup makes some tokens.
I think I like that one more. Yeah. It's tokens, and then we have a nice little 0/1 blocker to throw in front of something.
Yeah. Or we could also just say we're probably not going to play that, and I can just get another Gauntlets of Light.
That's also true.
Let's do that. Because I do like Gauntlets of Light. Not in limited, but I like it in general. This is another one.
Gift of Paradise.
Okay, we got the 3 Gift of Paradise. We're doing the Yarok.
We're doing the Yarok. Let's do this. Well, in that case, we got to get your Jungle Hollow. And then we can pull the blue-green out
and then we can get our Healer of the Glade here.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's the easy pick.
And this is a collection pick, because we're not going to play any of these. Let's do another collection pick. We do got some black, though. We got black going on.
We do. And I mean, we do have the 3 Gifts of Paradise and the Evolving Wild, so I do feel pretty good about splashing in multiple colors, even with the triple green.
There's a Mind Rots and a Blade Brand.
What a way to end.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so that's what we drafted. We're going to come back in the next video and actually craft the deck and figure out exactly what we're playing, although we're pretty close. right now we're just gonna have to figure out if we do actually want to splash black or stick to red-green. So just a quick recap. We did our draft. We ended up going pretty heavy into red-green. Picked up a couple of cool black cards and a Yarok the Desecrated, which I don't think we're going to get to play with.
Yeah, but it'd be fun to see.
We also realized that during our draft, we totally forgot about the nice little bonus here on Gargos. So whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, he fights another creature. We could have picked up some cards that would help us do that, like Growth Cycle.
That would have been convenient, but we'll survive.
But, this is still good because if the opponent targets one of our creatures, we get to fight something.
Yeah, it's protection.
And, he's also just a beastly card. So we definitely want to stick with our green. We've got Gargos. We've got Howling Giant. We've got kind of an elemental theme going on. So we really just need to kind of figure out, what are we tweaking? What are we changing? What do we want to cut? So, like, Heart Piercer Bow.
Yeah, that can go.
Bird Grabber is not, like...
We
might put it back in, but we're not crazy about it.
I think probably don't need the jungle hollow there. Special land.
Right. So we're looking like if we keep everything we currently have in, we got space for one card. And I think, like, for Pattern Matcher, we've got 2 Lavakins, we've got 2 Goblin Smugglers, we've got 4 Scorch Spitters, 2 Healers of the Glade. Like, we can get some value out of Pattern Matcher.
Yeah.
So I think we can keep him in there. The Spider is possibly our only defense against flyers, aside from
the Howling Giant.
And the Spitfire, which...
Yeah.
Spitfire is not a fantastic defensive card.
It's definitely not ideal without a shock in hand.
But the thing is, I don't think we really have too much of anything that we want to add to this.
Yeah.
It's I think it comes down to, do we want Heart Piercer Bow, do we want Wolfkin Bond, or do we want Goblin Bird Grabber?
I'm thinking the Bird Grabber's probably what we're going to want to go with here. Wolfkin Bond feels a little too expensive. I think I'd rather throw out a Mammoth Spider than that. We get flying with the grabber.
Yeah, which could give us a little flying defense, possibly.
It would also be our only 2-drop.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at 4 Scorch Spitters and 2 Healers of the Glade and going, probably don't need a 2-drop.
Probably not.
At this point, to add 1 random 2-drop, I don't feel like it's going to be that impactful. And we do have Heart Piercer Bow, so this is 2... Whenever an equipped creature attacks, it deals 1 damage to target creature defending player controls. Like,
I guess there is potential use there.
It gets rid of Scorch Spitters. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if we had a bunch of them. But.
Maybe, yeah. And that blue Artificer that pulls them out of your deck.
Yeah, I think we're just going Bird Grabber.
Yeah, I'm really leaning towards that one.
Alright. So this is the deck that we have. So let's take a look real quick at what we've got going on. On the top end, we've got Gargos. Obviously, he doesn't really have any synergy with the rest of our deck. We're not targeting any of our creatures with any spells. So his bonus effect really just comes down to
what the opponent tries to do.
We've got a Howling Giant. Once again, this is just a solid card. We don't really have any kind of like token synergies or anything. No wolf synergies, even though some of them exist in this set. But just a really solid card. But then we do have kind of an elemental sub-theme going on. And the main payoffs for these are going to be Lavakin Brawler, Spitfire, and Overgrowth Elemental. So with Chandra, we don't get a payoff for the elementals here, but we get a payoff for having our shocks and having our Scorch Spitters in here, and also having like... nope, that's it.
That's really about it, yeah.
And then for Lavakin Brawlers, if we get those elementals out, these are going to pump them.
Especially if we can pair it with the Goblin Smuggler.
Mm-hmm. And make them unblockable. And then Overgrowth Elemental, when it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on another elemental you control. So we can drop that on probably like a Spitfire, maybe a Scorch Spitter.
I would think probably the
Healer,
Spitfire, just because we want the biggest flyers we can get for blocking.
And adding the +1 to the Spitfire still keeps it under the 2 power or less range for the Goblin Smuggler. Then, whenever another creature you control dies, you gain 1 life. If that creature was an elemental, then you put a +1/+1 counter on Overgrowth Elemental. We'll only have 1 of these. It's not insane, and our elementals have to die. But
given that we have 4 Scorch Spitters, the likelihood of us losing an elemental is pretty good.
Pretty high. I don't know. I think this card, if I had to give it a rating on a 5, I'd probably land it. Well, I know where I'd land it. Where would you land it?
I mean, if this was constructed and I could build a deck full of elementals, I'd probably put it at a 4. But where we're at right now, probably a 2.5. Just in how it works in this deck.
I was thinking maybe about a 3, and only because we have such big payoffs at the end here. And we got some life gain. We got Gift of Paradise, we got the life gain from Overgrowth, and we got the life gain from Healer of the Glade, so we can kind of stall out and maybe get an engine going, but yeah, it's like a middle-of-the-road deck, I think. How many wins?
I'm thinking 3.
Yeah, I think it's like a 3-win deck. We'll see. But alright, that's going to do it for the video. I will probably come back with some gameplay and show off maybe a highlight game or 2. Drizzt here is going to be taking off, but he'll be a feature in the gameplay in future episodes. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having fun in whatever it is that you're doing. And as always, I'll see you on the next video. Hey everyone, Tsetzuko here, and I'm joined by a friend of mine.
Howdy.
And he goes by...
Drizzt.
Start over. This one, you want to read it?
Thrashing Brontodon. It's a 3/4 flyer that costs 1 mana plus 2 green. And
it's not a flyer.
3/4. Sorry, not a flyer.
Start again. Just start from scratch like you hadn't even started. So, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video when we've got some gameplay going. Hope you're having fun in whatever it is you're doing. And, as always, as I've already said, nope, gonna cut that. That's one of those blooper moments. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you're having fun in whatever it is that you're doing.
Close enough.
No.
Let's keep it.